Dan Larson here, and I'm at the photo booth to talk about the photo booth itself this time. But in the booth here, all this stuff that you're seeing here, this is me prepping for next week's photo booth video shoot, which will be part 3 of the 10 best, top 10 best of 2017 so far, part 3. Part 1 is usually at the end of January, February, March. Part 2 is at the end of January, February, March, June. And part 3 is at the end of September, so I'll do that next week. It's always overwhelming when we get this late in the year. Part 4, of course, is at the end of the year. That's one of our big year-end videos, 10 best of 2017 total. But it's always overwhelming when you get to this point and you start to really see these action figures piling up. You don't realize how many you've bought in one year when you're just buying them individually, and next thing you know, you've got 75 figures in the booth, or however many are here. And I can't even remember where I put the rest of my IDW set, so I gotta track those down somewhere. But anyway, the real purpose of this video, like I said, is to talk about the booth itself. Here in the comments, on Instagram, in person, people ask me, you know, sort of, what is the booth? How does the booth work? How does it set up? What do you have? And the number one key is lighting. To make nice pictures, you need a lot of light in here. And in fact, for this video, we may not actually have enough light pouring into this booth right now. I just have the exposure turned up pretty well on my camera. But you need a lot of light and you need a decent camera. Everything I shoot for the photo booth videos and on my Instagram is just shot on my phone. It's a Samsung phone. Let's talk about all this stuff. This is a table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back a little bit so you can start to see some of what's actually here. So bear with me. So this is just a 4-foot table with just a regular old foldable table. And then there's a piece of craft paper that you can buy at any craft store. This is this brand of paper. It's a 4-foot roll. Just comes in rolls like this. It's 4 feet by 12 feet. So that actually gets several booth changes out. You know, you take enough pictures, you put enough figures in the booth, it starts to get dirty. Things collect. You know, scuff marks and dirt and just from your hands rubbing on the paper. So I clean it. I change out that paper every so often. The key is, so it's taped. It's taped to the table here, and then along the edges, and then it's taped up at the top of it along the wall. The key is you want a curve in the back there, so you don't have there's no hard edge. You want the curve, and that's what sort of gives it that infinity look, because the light just sort of dissolves all of it, and you can't really see any sort of end to it. And when you're focused in, and all the frame is just the white, you don't see any sort of difference between the foreground and the background, and that's just what makes it disappear. And that scales. You can make a smaller version of that. You can make a big version of that. If you see like fashion photography and whatever, it's the same thing. They have that sort of curved background, and that's what you're getting there. So if I pull back a little bit more here, turn you up. So from here you can see that I've got 2 lights, one on either side of the booth. And then actually if I pan up just a little bit, you can see that there's actually a light above the booth up here as well. These lights just come from, you can get them pretty cheaply off of Amazon. I bought these lights, probably 4 years ago at this point. It was called the Cowboy Studio photography light set or something like that. It comes with the 2 stands, 5 or 6 bulbs, the 2 umbrellas. I think it actually came with a shorter stand as well. They telescope. They fold up. Everything fits into a nice little bag that comes with the set as well. And then up here is just basically the same thing, but it's just a larger umbrella. The size of the umbrellas don't matter. It just diffuses the light, so you're not getting these harsh bright light on the stuff. It softens everything a bit. And then, you know, the paper just sort of goes up the wall here, and I've got it taped at the top, so if I need to get a low angle on something, I know that I'm still getting paper, not wall. You can put any color paper back there, anything you want. And that's really all there is to it. You know, sometimes I'll move the lights around, bring them out more in front if I need the light more in front. raise them up, lower them down. Sometimes I'll turn off the top light if I just want to get light from either side. You can bring in other different kinds of lights, other different colors of lights, bulbs, what have you. Whatever you need to make your pictures work. And then once I once I take stuff into Instagram, when I'm posting over there, there's an edit feature within Instagram that allows you to push the brightness, push the contrast, all that stuff. I'll usually just turn the brightness up a bit, and so in this setting, it really just takes all the definition out of the background and really just sharpens Instagram's filters, really sharpen up makes those images nice and crisp. I give it a little bit of a touch of contrast just to bring out some of the darkness, some of like the blacks of the black and the color. And then I just upload it, and that's it. And they end up coming out really nice and sharp. And that's the look I like for the photographs that I post. And, you know, I really want that focus on the toy. There's 1,000 other ways you can do it. Lots of people have different styles. That's what's always appealed to me. And if you scroll back through my Instagram at Toy Galaxy, you'll see how that process has sort of evolved while I figured out the lighting and how I need more light in there, and the pictures get brighter and clearer, and the curved background and all that stuff. But that's really it. It's a pretty simple setup. It's not expensive at all. The paper's probably like, you know, these craft stores are always having sales and stuff. $5, $6, maybe $8 at most for the roll of paper. Get yourself some tape. And then the lights. The lights might run you, you know, $50, $60. But hey, you know what? If you have any questions or anything, ask me in the comments. I'll answer as best as I can, as many questions as I can. If you have any other questions after this. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Like I said, coming up next week, we'll have the 10 best of 2017 so far. Later.